From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
And we're back. The Wednesday extravaganza known as SportsLine is back here on News Channel 5 after 11 weeks off. We are back, and we're talking sports with you. We're taking your phone calls. Great to be back here on Wednesday Night SportsLine. I've missed you all. It's been a sad 11 weeks for me. I want to give a big thank you to Murphy Fair and Terry Merrill for doing a great job on the high school sports page these last 11 weeks. A wonderful job, a wonderful program. But SportsLine is back. We're here until the top of the hour talking sports with you. And I want to hear from you, especially you Titans fans. A lot going on since we last chatted. Would you not agree? 737-7767 is the number to call. So I get on a plane, last minute deal, right? A friend of mine lives in Kansas City. She says, JB, come on out. Check out the parade. The Royals won the World Series. I know you're not a Royals fan, but it'll be fun. I said, what the heck? Last minute, hop a flight. First thing yesterday morning, I land in Kansas City International Airport, turn my phone on because, you know, you have to keep your phone off during flight. And I have the NFL mobile alert app, and I get a mobile alert at the minute I turn my phone on, and it says, breaking, Ken Whisenhunt fired by the Tennessee Titans. So all the fun went down. Well, if you're Ken Whisenhunt, obviously it's not fun. Everything went down yesterday, and I was out of town. And now I'm back, and if there are any remaining issues or any reaction, I'm sure Jonathan Hutton covered a lot of it yesterday. But if there's any other reactions you have to Ken Whisenhunt being fired, you can give us a call, 737-7767. Are you happy with it? I know a lot of you people are. Getting a lot of phone calls downstairs in the sports office after every Titans game. Why do we still have this guy as our head coach? Why can't we get rid of our head coach? Well, for a lot of you, you got your wish. Now what? I want your reaction to Ken Whisenhunt being fired, and also, who is the guy? Who do you want to replace Ken Whisenhunt as the head coach of your Tennessee Titans? And don't give me Nick Saban, all you Alabama fans, because that's not going to happen. Nick Saban is not, he may go back to the NFL someday, although I doubt it, because he's getting up there in age, although he doesn't look it. There's no way he's going to leave his kingdom in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to come and try to turn the Tennessee Titans around. Now, he's got a big ego, and I'm sure in his mind he thinks he could do it. That's not going to happen. So I don't want to hear any Nick Saban or, you know, some of these other guys that have cushy jobs in college football, Jim Harbaugh, James Franklin. But I want to know, you got your wish, most of you, a lot of you, a good portion of you. A lot of you wanted Whisenhunt out. Well, he's out. Mike Mularkey is in on an interim basis. We're going to hear from him later. We're going to talk to Jason Wolf from the Tennessean at the bottom of the hour. He's the beat writer for the Tennessee Titans. So he's out. Whisenhunt's out. Mularkey's in for now. Who do you want? And what is your reaction? Let's go to Mark on line one. Mark, it's great to have you on. Good evening. Hello, Mark.
This is Mike.
I'm sorry, Mike. I apologize. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Okay. I have a statement and then a follow-up question.
You go right ahead. Have at it.
I witnessed the recruiting trends in the last few years of the Titans' attempt to strengthen the team.
You talking about free agents?
Free agents.
Draft picks?
Drafting.
Okay. All right. Yep. Go ahead.
And it just hadn't been successful overall. Our present coach that has just been fired is a product of this recruiting attempt. Can you tell me what can we do to improve our process of acquiring and holding on to quality players?
That's a great question, Mike. And I think the number one thing you need to do, establish an identity, something Ken Whisenhunt did not do in his year plus here, in my opinion. You know, I hearken back to last year when we had Neil O'Donnell on our Sunday night show, the Electric Power Company, Sunday Sports Central, and he would ask every week after every loss, what is the Titans' identity? What are you known as? You take a look at Ken Whisenhunt's tenure here. There was no identity on offense. Are you a running team that sets up the pass? Are you a passing team that sets up the run? Now you finally have some defensive identity. Dick LeBeau's here. We all know it's a 3-4 attacking scheme. You got some good linebacker play. The defense has improved. But what is your identity? Plus, you have a defensive coordinator who's not really the defensive coordinator because, in Ray Horton, because Dick LeBose is the defensive coordinator. You have an offensive coordinator in Jason Michael who really wasn't the offensive coordinator because Ken Wisnut called all the plays. Where is the structure? Where is the identity? Good football teams have an identity. We all know what the Steelers are going to do. They're going to be physical. They're going to run the football. Now, they've gotten into more of a spread passing attack out of necessity, but they're going to be physical, especially on defense, especially with their offensive line. Good football teams, your Patriots, your Cincinnati Bengals, they're undefeated. Green Bay Packers, they have an identity. You know what you're getting into. The big problem is too many times I think the Titans tried to fit, round pegs into square holes or vice versa, whatever you want to say. Establish an identity and do a better job of scouting and understanding that we need to bring in people that fit our identity and what we're all about. You do that, you're going to get better players. Is that it, Mike?
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great night. We thank Mike for checking in. I tweeted this yesterday. And I think this holds true. I really believe after the Atlanta game when Ken Whisenhunt defiantly told our colleague Paul Kaharski from ESPN that without a doubt this year's Titans team is better than last year's Titans team. Now, they have improved in some areas, but for him to say that, I think that didn't sit well with the Titans management. It's just a hunch. I don't know this to be true. I haven't spoken to anybody about this. Nobody's told me that. But I think that was the final straw. It's bad enough that you're losing. It's bad enough that you could see the players' body language after games, the frustration, the anger, the feeling of, you know what, we don't know if this is going to turn around. And to come out and say we're a better football team than last year, that's not going to sell with your fan base. I've had too many Titans fans come to me directly, indirectly, saying, what do we have to do? Why is this guy still our coach? Now, I'm not trying to take shots at Ken Whisenhunt. Happen to like the guy. I've known him for a long time. He was a top assistant in Pittsburgh with the Steelers. When I was in Pittsburgh covering that football team, he called the plays when the Steelers beat the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 40. He was the offensive coordinator and play caller. He obviously led the Arizona Cardinals to a Super Bowl. Now, he had Kurt Warner, and the pattern seems to be if he doesn't have Ben Roethlisberger or Kurt Warner as his quarterback, who knows what Mariota's going to develop into, but there just wasn't enough time. But I happen to like Ken Whisenhunt. Now, I've heard that he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way over at St. Baptist, or at St. Thomas Sports Park, I should say. Now, that's what I've heard. I'm not reporting this, but I've heard he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Players, support staff, people who work in the office. And if you're not winning, you're not going to last long. Now, if he's winning and Titans are in playoff contention, you can put up with that a lot more. But I've heard he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I've always had a good relationship with the guy. I have nothing bad to say about Ken Whisenhunt other than the fact that he was 3-20 as Tennessee Titans head coach. So who's next? What's next? Who do you want to be your Titans head coach, folks? Let's find out what Henry wants to say. Good evening, Henry.
I'd like for it to be Peyton Manning, but we can't really go there, can we?
Well, come on, man. I mean, Peyton Manning, the guy's never coached before. How are you convinced that Peyton Manning could come in and coach an NFL football team?
What's a joke?
Oh, okay. I mean, all right, go ahead.
The question is, I think that the offensive line really needs a fixing. And I think that to simplify the offensive line, let's just get the running backs going. Let's settle on a running back. I think if we settle on a running back, it helps the quarterback. He doesn't have to look and see what running back's back there every time. He has to snap the ball. Let's just settle on a running back, show up that offensive line, and I think that's going to help him and the team down the line.
Henry, I could not agree with you more. And I think we're going to see that. You know, Jason Michael, who's the offensive coordinator, who really wasn't the offensive coordinator because Wiz called all the plays. You know, Malarkey said today, and you're going to hear from him later in the show, Malarkey said today, look, Jason's in charge. He knows the offense. He's calling the plays. I'm going to oversee things. I'm going to interject when I feel I need to interject, but it's his show. He's running it. And he also intimated that Antonio Andrews looks like it's going to be the bell cow back. It's no more running back by committee, because guess what? That ain't working.
But what?
So let's go 2 tight ends. Let's get these offensive linemen who are struggling right now, get them to fire off the ball, smack into somebody, and run the ball. Make life easier for your rookie quarterback, assuming Mariota comes back this week. Henry, I think you're spot on.
Yeah, can I add one more question?
By all means.
Statement here. I think that I would like to see what Fowler could do at the running back position. I think the guy has moves. He's not just a big guy. I think he's physical, but he has moves as well. I would really like to see what he could do. I'm going to get off on this.
Appreciate the phone call. Thanks so much. Yeah, Jalston Fowler is a guy that, I would like to see more as well. Especially, maybe not so much from a running standpoint, Henry, but maybe from a standpoint of, let's see if you can flex him out, put him in the slot, or put him at tight end. Let him run some seam routes. They brought this guy in because of his versatility. Well, let's use it, and Dexter McCluster for that matter too. But right now, Antonio Andrews is your best bet at running back. I don't think there's any question about it. So let's get physical in the run game, and this week's a perfect week to do it because you have the New Orleans Saints, who has a very weak defense, as you saw. Yeah, they beat the Giants, but Eli Manning threw for 350 and 6 touchdown passes. And the Giants, who don't run the ball well, I know this because I follow the Giants. I grew up following them. They don't run the ball well. They don't do a whole lot well on offense except throw the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. But you can run the football on the New Orleans Saints. Get this offensive line to be an aggressive, get off the line, smack you in the mouth, smash mouth offensive line with an aggressive, physical running back running behind them. Let's keep the third downs manageable, and then you can see what Marcus Mariota can do in the passing game. So I believe we will see that. All right, if you're on hold, stay there. I want your reactions. We're talking about Ken Whisenhunt, your reaction to his firing if you didn't get in last night, or you did get in last night, you want to talk more about it. We're back. It's Wednesday night, SportsLine. I'm happy to talk to you. Jason Wolf at the bottom of the hour from the Tennessean. We also will hear, I promise, from Mike Mularkey and a lot more. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.